What the hell's the matter with you? I'm trying to help you, goddammit. I'm Jackie.
I'm starting to think Freddie Ray might be a little daffy. I'm Justin.
Michelle, wait, you forgot your top... You know what? Never mind. I'm Sam, and this is 1987 or 1988, depending on which internet source you are looking at. The Phantom Empire by Fred Olen Rey.
Hello, welcome to Stinker Madness, a podcast about blah, blah, blah. I'm your host, blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. Sam, this is some crazy shit you've brought to us this week from Fred Olen Rey called The Phantom Empire. Currently streaming on only two sources. The Redbox app, which seems dubious that it even exists, and
I guess
Plex.
They got to get out of those machines, right?
Well, I know, but
how are they in this game?
Just sell your shit and call it good. You made your money. Walk away, Redbox. Your time has come and gone.
Well, I think there's probably... In a smaller community, that's still a good deal if you got shitty internet.
Yeah, I guess.
Redboxes are... Yeah. Which is odd, because in the small towns around here, they have these other, like, blue box things. There's, like, a second...
Not Redbox.
Company that does the Redbox thing for smaller places, and it's like, oh, Redbox, come on now.
Yeah. No, okay. Anyways, we watched it on Plex, and I would highly recommend not using Plex at all. I think every single movie that's ever in existence that isn't going to be owned by a major studio that has access to a high-profile streaming platform should be on Tubi. Tubi is the one. It works the best. It has the least amount of commercials, and is not shitty. Whereas, like, we keep doing these goddamn commercial streaming platforms, and like, oh, here's a new one, we gotta try it. It's like, God fucking damn it, this shit sucks. Why isn't everything Tubi?
Is it worse than Crackle?
Plex? No.
I don't know. I mean, the commercial breaks were like 2.5 minutes.
They were 3 minutes. There was 180 seconds, and they were every 20 minutes, which is the TV movie format, like cable TV. But I don't want. We live in the future. Stop it.
Yeah, like I watched all the John Wicks yesterday, and it was like every 40 minutes they would show a minute and 30 seconds worth of commercials, and then go right back to the movie.
And that was on Freevee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Freevee's not bad. It's Prime's platform, so
yeah, it's Prime, right?
Works a little better. Even though I think the name is stupid. IMDb TV was better, but whatever.
What sucks is this was supposed to be on Freevee until next week. I guess I read it wrong, is what I thought, which is why I pulled the trigger on it so fast, is that it was on Amazon. It was on Freevee last week. Okay. And then I got up this morning and it wasn't, and I was like, fuck. I ended up saying it's worth $1.99 for me to not watch commercials, and I paid $1.99 for it.
Where'd you did that on Prime?
Prime or Vudu? I think Prime was $3 and Vudu was $2.
Two's not bad. Two's not bad for a stinker.
2 was when I was like, hey, $2 is worth it. I'm going to just go ahead and pull the trigger here.
Still think it should be $1, but you know what? These guys got to make their monies too. You know what I was thinking? You know about the purge that's going on right now, right? That Disney is purging all their content that is underperforming, including just last year's Willow TV series is going to be gone forever. Like they paid for it. It's not performing. They're dumping it, right? Which is kind of crazy that all this shit is just going to vanish that they paid for and never be streaming again, because it's not like somebody else can buy the rights to it and put it on their streaming platform. But what I'm thinking of is Jackie's parents yesterday were talking about they bought John Wick 4 last week, and I'm like, dude, it's going to be streaming in like 2 weeks. Why would you pay for that? And then they bought Super Mario Brothers last night. So what if you go buy a stinker, and you know it's in your Prime account, whatever, you know, you pay $20 for it, and at some point they're like, well, nobody's watching this. You don't download it. It's on the cloud. You buy a license to view it on the cloud. What if they purge all that shit that nobody's watching, and you bought it? And you can no longer ever watch that movie ever again. I still think we should be buying discs.
We should at least have the ability to download that copy.
Yeah, but where are you going to store it? On your fucking Fire Stick?
On a disc.
So you have a DVD burner now too. in this scenario.
No, that sucks because I don't have one of those on me.
These people are going to be fucked someday.
Yeah, it sucks. And so that's where I think Walmart probably gets back into the game because Vudu they've already hustled their ass in on everything as far as ability to stream whatever from other companies with Vudu. And they've demonstrated a wanton ability to just put anything that's out of print to go like, what is it going to take for us to make discs of this? And they'll yell a number at Walmart, and Walmart's like, okay. And they're like, I thought that would be too much money. And they're like, no, we're going to fucking sell 6 million discs of this. Okay. We're going to price them at $3 and people will just buy it because it's only $3 fucking dollars.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Go Walmart. Save the industry, I guess.
They've been in the movie game longer than some of these other entities. If you recall that wonderful film that I worked on, The Forger, that was, according to Rotten Tomatoes, the worst film of the year in 2011. Walmart was already seasoned in making those direct to their own shelves movies like that one.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's move on. I'm going to start with Jackie because I'm assuming you have a lot to talk about. Jackie, how hot is Michelle Bauer?
Which one was that?
Okay. All right. She's off the show. She's been doing this for almost 10 years. Michelle Bauer's like a weekly occurrence on this podcast, including her cans. So the one with the cans, Jackie.
I thought that was Sybil Danning.
Well, Sybil Danning's got cans too.
Got cans too. There was the topless. She forgot her bikini top for the last half of the movie.
Oh my God. Okay, so I had a really hard time watching her because her hair was just fucking atrocious. And she was walking like she was trying to sneak in a salami up her butt.
Yeah, I don't think those panties were comfortable. I think that they were. It was a diaper.
She kept walking like bow-legged and bent over, and it was just awkward and weird. And I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
No,
like I just wanted her to get eaten by a fucking
Are you crazy
dinosaur.
Michelle Bauer is royalty on this podcast. I'm going to explain a couple things to you. This is 1988. Thunderdome was like 2 years before this, so yeah, she's rocking Tina's hair, but it was cool at the time. And knowing Fred Olen Rey and how much he paid for this, I bet you that's not actually a bikini she's wearing. I bet you that's a fucking like a chamois.
It's a chamois.
And so she had to clench her butt cheeks to even keep it there because it's not actually a tire. It's what you clean your car with.
I thought she was great, especially because what she was supposed to be doing. Like she had mentioned, like this was her first union gig.
Okay, all right.
And she's like, I didn't get a line,
SAG?
but I mean,
what other union would there be besides SAG?
What other union would there be?
So she's got a SAG
at this
card.
time.
Nice.
I guess we're getting right into
go
it.
for it.
At this time, Fred has decided to do his own company, which is American Independent Pictures, another AIP.
Yeah, we need another one of those.
Need another AIP, so he's got another AIP going. And the gal that plays the tough chick is Dawn Wildsmith, who at this time is his wife.
The tough chick? What tough chick?
The cowboy hat.
Oh, okay, Eddie.
Yeah. So Eddie's married. She's also the makeup artist and the co-producer. She's basically the other half of the fucking production company.
Okay.
They probably got married, I'm guessing, somewhere around 83 or 84. The Tomb is in 85. She stars in that. Michelle Bauer's first Fred movie is The Tomb. We'll be doing that next. It's on YouTube the next time that I have a pick.
So is Susie Stokey in that?
Sybil Danning is also in that.
So
this is
just the same.
This is AIP is what we're watching here. However, your former stars rotate. You're not going to get. I don't think Tom Thumb is going to be in this. Robert Query, the professor, that's Tom Thumb,
right?
And he was also the main teen in Peyton Place, the movie, like. Child star of old, now he's nobody, but Fred put him in a movie, so you're going to get Cameron Mitchell in The Tomb instead of him.
Love Cameron Mitchell.
Other than that, and then Jeff Combs isn't going to be in that one either, because I think Jeff Combs is actually, at this point, Reanimator has already happened, and he was already in Cyclone. He was second to Heather Slater in that, or not Heather. What is her name?
Helen Slater.
No, Heather Thomas.
Heather Thomas
was in Cyclone.
Okay, right.
We did that, right?
I don't think so.
We talked about doing it and we couldn't find it.
Maybe. I don't know.
I thought we were going to do that.
I don't think
I know we were going to do that, and we were going to have Christopher Olen Rey on, and he's so goddamn busy.
Yeah, and also I'm extremely lazy.
And we can't find it, probably. It's now on Plex or whatever.
Yeah.
Redbox streaming? How is that a thing? Anyway, but yeah, the other ones are basically just who's in it. I think Sybil Danning only does those two. Tragically, for Sybil Danning, after this really underperforms.
Sure.
Even for a Fred Olen Rey movie. I'm not sure why. I mean, how did no one like this? Michelle Bauer just lost her shirt for the last quarter of the movie.
It's a Fred Olen Rey movie.
It was great. It was like, I can stop. I'll create a distraction. We're going to wrestle each other's tops off. I'm just going to leave mine over here.
Oopsie.
Oops.
Yeah, if you've seen a Fred Olen Rey movie and you liked it, why wouldn't you like this one? It's the same. It's the same as the other one.
Same. So after this, Sybil Danning would do the film L.A. Bounty, directed by One-Worth Keeter.
Okay, all right.
And then her shit is on ice until Grindhouse.
That's a long period.
A long time.
Yeah. And those cans are just getting closer to the ground every day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she had a good run of it up to this point, right? Yeah.
She didn't have a lot of lines.
And she is no. But it's interesting that I had no idea that Sybil Danning's ship was sunk by a high five between Fred Olen Rey and Worth Keeter. That makes me kind of, I mean, it sucks for her, but I think it's great. So Robbie the Robot.
Yeah,
did you notice in the credits it said Robbie the Robot as himself?
Robbie the Robot.
So that is Robbie the Robot from Forbidden Planet and everything else, a couple episodes of everything that you could put a robot in.
Yeah.
Because at the time that Forbidden Planet was made, Robbie the Robot was the most complicated robot suit built since Fritz Lang.
Okay.
It was probably more complicated because there was a lot of skin paint involved in Fritz Lang so people could move around. But it cost $125,000. In 1956 was when they were making it. 57 was the release. That was 7% of the budget of the film, which is proportionally the exact same proportion of the film's budget that it cost to build the 25-ton, 12-meter centrifugal set for 2001.
Yeah, that's an expensive robot.
I don't know how Corman ends up with this thing, because that's all I can figure here is that Corman ends up.
Why not just have a guy? Just put a guy in a suit. Why?
That's a guy in a suit.
And it costs $125,000
to make that suit.
That's insanity. Somebody got had.
It's really nice.
Somebody got had. I don't think it is.
No, this is no. The guys that made this were the guys. Like, it's just that's how much it cost. It seems a bit expensive, but when you look in the head, also this was the second head that was built for it. So there was what is the name of this show? I had never even heard of this show. It's like Project UFO. Okay. Have you ever heard of that shit?
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, so they changed the head to be a little bit different for an episode of Project UFO, and Robbie shows up with the two different heads. This is not the head from Forbidden Planet. It's the head from Project UFO, but it's essentially the same suit. It's really articulate stuff in there, though. I mean,
it's basically the fucking Michelin Man with a fucking EKG machine for a face. I don't know, man. I think it's a piece of shit. I've seen better robots.
I really like the robot.
Well, yeah, he's cool.
I like the robot.
But $125,000?
Do you like him for 100? Yeah, do you like him for 125 G's?
No. I like him for about maybe $2,000-$3,000.
Yeah, I don't know. I think in today's modern society, you could make the exact same thing for about $10,000.
Well, 3D printing and all of that. Yes, there's people on YouTube doing stuff like this all the time. But at the same time, a actual prop designer in Hollywood that works for a major studio won't get out of bed for that much money.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
It's not a good buy. It's not a good purchase. they get to spend
They got
money
the miles
someplace
out
else.
of it.
Yeah.
He's got more credits than Jeff Combs does.
I mean, buy a monster truck. Put a monster truck in your movie. It's cheaper. You get the miles out of that too.
The other guy, I don't know, like Ross Hagen, he looks familiar because he's been in an episode of everything, right?
Yeah.
But I guess he was in a couple of biker movies, a couple of Western movies, and then there was a safari-specific CBS program that he was one of the principal actors of. And I was like, I feel like he's a bigger deal than that. But no, Ross Hagen's not a bigger deal than that.
He wasn't very good. I'm just going to say he's not great.
I think he played that part from the Fred Olen Rey movie about as well as others.
No. Who's the other guy? Wings Hauser?
Anderson.
Wings Hauser probably could have done better.
Wings Hauser's high on fucking cocaine. Guess who the co-star of L.A. Bounty with Sybil Danning is?
Wings Hauser.
Danning. Wings Hauser.
There you go.
Yeah. So it's not streaming anywhere, and I'm really pissed off about that.
Okay. Russ Tamblin's in this too.
That's who I was talking about. The Professor Stock.
Oh.
That's Tom Thumb.
No, you called him somebody else. I thought you said his name.
Oh, Russ Tamblyn is Tom Thumb. Yeah. Robert Query's nobody. I screwed that up entirely.
Yeah, you totally did.
The internet's now roasting me. You're wrong, idiot. Thanks for catching that.
Yeah.
No, Russ Tamblyn only shows up for a minute. He's Tom Thumb and Peyton Place guy. Robert Quarry, the professor, is actually the same guy who plays Count Yorga. He's just a B-movie guy.
Right. And then
that's it.
Susie Stokey
is just in Fred Olen Rey movies and a couple of Corman movies. It's interesting as I watch these, as I swim through the vast career of Fred Olen Rey, that he really didn't do a lot for Corman. Like, he was really just kind of doing his own thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like he just has an association to Corman because he's friends with Wynorski.
Mm-hmm. It could be.
And then, all of the deals that he gets with Corman, he totally gets the better end of the deal. Like, Evil Tunes, Corman was bitching about a guy not getting a movie done fast enough. And he's like, which set is it? And he's like, that one over there. And I'm like, well, I'll just shoot a movie at night on the set and make it worth your while. And he's like, yeah, whatever. And then he does. And he's like, God damn it. He did that. And then now I have to fire that guy because you made a whole movie in a week at night when he wasn't using the set when he was supposed to be. God damn it. This also leads to, because there's a lot of Fred Olen Rey's career is I need to keep jamming these out because I don't really make a lot of money off this. Mm-hmm. This underperforming may directly or indirectly lead to him doing his first cable, straight up soft porn or hard R, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. It did so well that he's never really quit. I don't know that he enjoys it because he uses a pseudonym when he does those movies.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Jackie, you know who Jeffrey Combs is?
No.
He was the good-looking, well, quote-unquote good-looking, the movie tells us he's good-looking, guy that Sybil Danning enslaves, or not enslaves, attempts to enslave, the young paleontologist guy.
The doofus?
Yeah, but the movie is telling us he's good looking. Whether he is or not, it's irrelevant. But you've seen him before. Remember when we watched From Beyond and none of us liked it because it was even too goopy for Sam and I. He's in that. Reanimator, obviously, if you remember that at all. You've seen Jeffrey Combs. He was a big Star Trek guy. Lots and lots of Star Trek. Just want to make sure that we give a shout out to him because I'm a big fan. And I actually think this was my favorite Jeffrey Combs bad movie performance.
Well, I guess we still got Cyclone out there because he's number 2 to Heather Thomas in that.
Yeah, I thought he was fun in this. I liked him. All right, we ready to dive in? Jack,
I am ready to dive in.
Anything else you want to talk about? Sybil Danning's cans instead of Michelle Bauer's?
No, but I do want to talk about her costume.
Sybil Danning's.
And and how stinky that had to be at the end of
awful.
taping.
I mean, they're out in the desert the whole time.
Yeah, and it looks like pleather, right? And she just looks so damn uncomfortable in it.
Isn't it?
And it's really weird high-waisted thing that made her hips look huge, and like whoever designed that was a nutsack.
Isn't that?
They really did not take into consideration her body at all. And it was just like, cut the top down as low as you can, and then put on these weird high-waisted pants that nobody looks good in.
Is it that the same costume that she wore in Galaxy of Terror?
Is it Battle Beyond the Stars?
Battle Beyond the Stars. I always mix those two up.
Maybe.
I mean, I remember
it
black
seems like
leather
that.
with most of her bosoms coming out. So
seems like he borrowed the sword from Corman as well.
Sure, that's not the sword from Future Zone, or the laser sword that.
No, that one was clear, clear acrylic.
Yeah, right.
But either way, like, it's hard to tell because he's doing his own thing. But there's some very Corman-esque things happening here that I don't know if Wynorski's sneaking shit out to him or what's going on here.
Hey, buddy, meet me at the back docks. I got some props for you. These are good props. Jim opens up his coat. Inside is a topless woman. Hey, they got good props right here. You want your props?
Yeah.
Okay. We should note that this is also a true story.
And it was shot in the center of the earth.
Fred Olen Rey comes out and says immediately, just so you know, this is a true story. At least that's what the people that told me said.
And then he signs his name to it like...
Fucking silly bastard.
Like he's a... Oh, man, like he's a notary. It was amazing. What was the subtitle of the sequel that's never going to happen? Is Mel Brooks' joke at the end? The Phantom Zone 2, we can't give a fuck or something like that.
Yeah, right.
It was just like, God damn it, you're great, buddy.
Okay. All right, so we've got a monster coming out of a cave. It's got monster vision. That's what we see at first. It's
a kaleidoscope that they put on the end of the camera that it's like, focus. What are we looking at?
It can't see shit. Let's be honest. It's blind as fuck.
It can't see shit.
Can't see shit. And there's this group, this husband and wife. I thought that there was a kid at one point running across the screen, but he just fucks off. They're having like a picnic or something out in the woods. And the husband's like, shit, Scarfy ran off again. I'm going to find him and beat the shit out of that little dog.
Well, it's Dookie Flyswatter.
Dookie Flyswatter.
Yes, Dookie Flyswatter. This is not the first time we've talked about Dookie Flyswatter.
Refresh my memory.
He's got that LA punk band with the topless ladies and they dress up like monsters. He's in a lot of Fred Olen Rey movies.
Okay, all right. I'm going to have to go back and listen to some episodes of Stinker Bandits because I don't remember that at all. Anyways, he runs after this dog, and the dog doesn't make it. And he's like, oh, God. He's like, I'm going to beat this dog. And then he immediately sees it, and he's like, on his knees crying. I thought that was great. Meanwhile, while he's dealing with the dead dog, the monster's attacking the wife. And so he hears her screams, runs back, and then the monster attacks him, and we get our first look at it.
It doesn't look good.
Oh, my God. When the monster turned around... I immediately started laughing. It was just like somebody had taken an awful Halloween mask and then just glued a bunch of shit all over it. And like where the eye holes would be, they put in like the ends of plastic bottles and spray painted them. And it was just like, fuck, this thing is hideous.
And then put a Santa Claus wig on it.
But, I mean, if you knew how much money Don Wildsmith had to use to make these things, you'd be like, great job. That's an A+, considering you were allowed $58 to get like 7 of these together.
And they're just wearing they're wearing quilts. That's all they're wearing. I mean, it's pretty laughable. They've got spiky teeth too. They got a nasty mouth.
Yeah.
And when you get a shot of all of them, it looks like they only had money for one old lady wig. Mm-hmm. And so they had to, like sparsely glue the white hair onto every one of them, right? but they only had one wig to go around for 8 people, so just...
They're pretty great. They're pretty great.
Oh, my God.
And so he's tussling with the dad, or the husband, and just pulls his head off. Just right off.
Pulls his head right off. And then after that happens, the guy's wife just domes the monster with an ice chest and wanders off.
How about some Coors Light, Buster?
I thought she was grabbing the beer cooler to run to the car. That's what I thought was going to happen in this scene. Like, she's like, I got to get the beer. Get out of here. Mama needs her juice, right?
I'm not leaving this line.
And, you know, her husband's kind of a dipshit, so she's probably like, hey, fend for yourself, right? And then when she actually defends him, I'm like, oh, why did you do that?
Well, yeah.
Why didn't you do that like a minute ago and his head is still attached?
Insurance.
I always like when the heads come off and the body like grabs it where the head used to be because the body's like, hey, where'd it go?
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
It's great. And that was a really good fake for, you know, $17 or whatever they spent on it. I think that looked all very good.
It's pretty wild shit. So cut to the salvage company office. These are our mains, Court and Edie's salvage company. And business is not going great for them. Most of the day, it seems like they just hang around and drink in their office, waiting for customers to come in who never do. But finally, one does. And her name is Miss Chambers. And I can't, they make a joke about her name through the entire time. It's like Dania or Dania or some crap like that. But
Danaea.
And he can't ever say it right, so she's constantly just correcting him, and I don't think that was part of the script. I just don't think he can remember her name. And they're like, well, we're not going to lose footage over it. Just keep rolling.
Yeah.
So she's the daughter of some famous paleontologist or something?
No, a rich guy that liked to go on to fund adventures, provided that he got to go.
Okay.
A gentleman expeditionist.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously mid-morning, right? Mm-hmm. The two are drinking in the office. She's got on socks that looks like she hasn't washed them in, I don't know, a week or two, right? They're all black and dingy and gross. She doesn't even get up to greet her. And in walks this one with diamond earrings, and she's got this big fur coat on, right? Like so old school detective, you know, where the woman walks in.
Very noir.
I need your help. Yeah. And then I'm like, why the fuck are you going to a salvage company for a treasure hunt? And then they kind of, you know, explain it all that he helped with the original expedition and blah, blah, blah.
What salvagers do, Jackie, is they get treasure.
No, I thought salvagers were like, hey, come get this shit off my yard.
No.
Try to file a business license under treasure hunter and try to find it under file under salvage. See how fast you make it through the system. Salvage company.
Right. Yeah. If you're going to go deep dive for doubloons in the ocean, you're hiring salvagers. It's a job, Jackie. So, but like you're talking about the free trash guys, like, hey, we'll come get your free trash. And then they take it to their barn and try to flip it on Craigslist.
Or sell it for recycling weight.
Yeah, that too. Those aren't salvagers. Those are junk guys.
Yeah.
I chose junkers.
Junkers, yeah.
But again, they try to file a business license under junkers or salvage, which is going to go faster. Salvage.
It depends on where you're at. Usually if you're in space and you have to file claims with the Empire, you want to be a junker, because...
Yeah.
You know, but here on
the
Earth,
vernacular.
Yeah, here on Earth, it's probably salvagers. It's probably all one thing. Anyways, so she's like, okay, so here's the deal. I think you saw in the news. Yes, I understand it was Weekly World News. It's still called news, so therefore it is news that a monster came out of a cave and pulled this guy's head off, and he happened to have $500,000 worth of jewels on him in his quilt that I guess is pocketed too.
I like how this scene plays a little bit because immediately Court Eastman, who's Ross Hagens' character, is like thinking that she has some relation to the guy that's decapitated. She shows me, he's like, oh, that's terrible. And she's like, don't fucking worry about that. The guy that ripped his head off was covered in fucking jewels, and he just like perks right up like, oh, you are in the right place.
And she's like, okay.
I like how he says, oh, I don't really get to the news very much when she hands him the paper, and I'm expecting him not to be able to read.
Oh.
So I'm like, I bet he's just looking at the picture, and he has no idea what the article even says. He's just like, okay, there's a murder here. What the fuck do you want? And then Sam's right. When he perks up, it's like, oh, he doesn't know how to read.
Yeah. He's also drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Eddie's so drunk she can't get off the couch.
She doesn't speak a line for like the first 20 minutes of the movie. So then she's like, okay, so I'm going to paraphrase for her because her dialogue is not coherent. But basically she says, because this guy had so many diamonds and jewels on him and he came out of a cave, I believe that he is part or whatever he's involved with, whatever. But let's go find the lost city of Relia. That's what I'm hiring you for. Diamonds and jewels, lost city. It's in the caves.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, okay. What? How about we just go find those jewels, like more of those jewels? What is their connection to this lost city, a daffy lady? Also, where's the monster? Like, did he just get taken to the morgue? Is he dead? Is he in, like, fucking county? What the hell? What'd they do with that monster?
Coyotes and a mountain lion dragged him off.
No, they
Hollywood
got in
foothills.
the picture. He's getting taken away. Like, does he get deported?
Roswell.
Does he get deported back to fucking the caves? I don't understand what they did with that guy.
And that no one is interested in this at all.
Yeah, right?
Like, this lady, who's the daughter of the lost land of whatever, and his former man are like, oh, looks like this isn't a cold case anymore, and no one's like, monster pulled a guy's head off.
Yeah, I mean, $500,000, $1 million diamonds and jewels, cool. Mole men, actual fucking mole men, probably a big deal.
And maybe the Weekly World News was right, and we just weren't paying close enough attention to how the coroners handle things.
Okay, so Court, he's like, all right, well, I'm in, let's negotiate. And it seems like he makes a really bad deal. Like, his standard offer that he pitches to clients is clear why he doesn't have any clients. This is a bad deal, Court. It's an exchange. You don't get all of the money. Why would people hire you if you're like, all right, you're going to pay for my expenses. You're going to give me a per diem and gas, supplies, and also I get all your stuff.
Yeah. Well, she counters back, and he's like, fine, that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, he wants $3,000 a day in wages for each of them, right? So $6,000 a day for each of them to be on this. And then she's like, no, $200
a week.
Yeah.
She's like, she counters with $200 a week. And then she just like flops $3,000 on him, and he's like, hot damn, let's go.
Back in business, baby. What's $3,000 gonna get you?
A lot of bourbon.
You don't even know what you're getting involved with. You're digging up a lost city. You're probably going to need more equipment than $3,000. Like, hey, we can go do a exploratory, like, fact-finding thing for that. But if you want that shit out of there, it's going to cost more than $3,000, lady. We need backhoes and heavy equipment, you know.
No, he just spent the money on some flashlights and some batteries.
Yeah, yep.
A backpack full of whiskey.
Yeah. Because as we know, he likes to travel light in this movie.
So
a backpack full of whiskey isn't very light.
Well, that's why he had to stop and rest and drink it. Like when they were on their exploration, he's like, "Oh man, guys, my backpack weighs like 50 pounds. We gotta take a break. We're gonna break for camp here." Because he's like, "Because I need a fucking drink." Meanwhile, when they meet up to go on this expedition,
we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
Okay.
So he's like, one thing before we get started. I'm going to see you at 8 a.m., but I got to go see a man about a map right now. And then she's there when he goes to see the map guy. Like, wait, I thought you guys were meeting at 8 a.m. And she's like, no, I'm coming with. I'm curious about this map guy. So they get invited to this map guy's house. He's an old rock guy. He's a geologist. And he's like, oh, you don't want to go in there. A lot of history in that cave. The expedition party I was part of, we went in there. 6 men entered. 1 man left, and my leg is all fucked up from it.
2. Court was there.
What?
Court was there.
He said he was part of the original expedition.
Those are the only 2 survivors.
I missed that part.
And her dad. So 3 people walked out. They probably all walked out, but they got fucked up.
Seems like a lot of people are walking out.
They got shit-faced and fell down some rocks and said, fuck it, and didn't try it again. Until just now.
So that guy this whole time was thinking, I went in there with 6 guys and none of them came out except for me. And they're like, no, I made it. And I made it too. Oh, I guess we were all just really drunk.
He's like, I must have drank too much that day. He's like, my backpack full of whiskey seemed a little light when we left the cave.
This whole time, I thought everybody died. I became a hermit and have like PTSD and everybody's fine. What the fuck?
Like, you don't remember what happened? You were like, hey, watch me do a cartwheel. And we're like, no, you're too drunk. And we had to take you to the hospital, and that was the end of the expedition.
I woke up in the hospital because I thought we were all dead.
Nope. We just left you there because you're a dick.
Oh!
What happened to my leg then?
You broke it doing a cartwheel drunk.
God damn it.
Huh.
Who the fuck does a cartwheel?
In a cave.
It got stuck in some rocks and it broke.
Okay, so he's like, yeah, you can't go in there. It's too dangerous. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, how about a wad of cash? And he's like, here's your map.
Yeah.
This lady just keeps bundles of cash with rubber bands around it tucked into her boobs.
Yeah, she's a coke dealer, Jackie.
It's like boob sweat money.
Yeah, that's what everybody...
That's the best kind.
Yeah, I mean...
That's why Court smells
sniffed
it.
His like, oh, boob sweat money, yeah.
Kitty residue. All right, so they meet up in the morning at their starting point, whatever. And a couple dudes roll up, the professor and Jeffrey Combs' character, whose name I do not know.
Andrew Paris.
Paris. Okay. And they join up. The professor's an appraiser. He knows the price of things. And Paris is a geologist, so he can say what things are, actually.
Okay, so what was great was when the professor tried to church it up to make himself look more important to the rich lady. Mm-hmm. And she's like, so you're going to tell us how much shit's worth? You're an appraiser? And he's like, well, I guess for this trip, yeah. Like, he was all pompous and shitty about himself. Like, I'm so damn important. And then she's like, no, you're the appraiser.
Mm.
That's pretty important.
I thought that was...
the salvagers need an appraiser. Yeah, kind of should important. We drop this one back in the bottom of the deep or not?
Yeah. And then they're like, okay, oh, shit, we can't leave. We forgot about Pedro.
Fuck. I thought this was going to dance past the line, but it doesn't. Because they get Pedro up. They're like, look out, Pedro. He's sleeping in the trunk. Like, what the fuck is that guy doing there? And he's like, Pedro's going to watch the cars, and if we don't come back in 3 days, he's going to go get the authorities, and they're going to come search for us. And then she's like, are you sure he's not going to steal the cars? And he just like snaps at her, like, don't fuck with Pedro. He's a good man. I'm like, all right, you were dancing on that line, but you said don't fuck with Pedro, so I'm fine with this.
No, and then like 2 minutes later, she calls Pedro a thief, and he laughs about it. Ha 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 ha! Pedro laughs. They go right past the line, Sam. There's there's hot tamales playing in the background. It's straight up racist.
There's a little honor among thieves happening with Pedro, though.
Yeah, he's got the same. I mean, they're treating him good. He's probably got like
he's
2 or
in the
3
crew.
bottles of bourbon in the back.
And he took his
Mustang. Wakes up with a.
Let's be honest. That's a '65 Mustang. There's more room in the trunk than there is in the back seat.
Right. That's where you lose your...
Trying to sugarcoat this one, but it looks bad.
That's where a lot of boomers lost their virginity, was in the trunk of the Mustang.
on the hood in the bushes. Actually, it was.
I think you missed
the back seat of. It wasn't a Mustang. It was like a Torino 4-door.
I made a joke, and you blew right through it, just like Pedro's racism. Okay, so they walked down numerous hills for quite some time until they reached the cave, which has a fucking road in front of it. So
it does.
I love this part because you could just see on the rich lady's face, like, why the fuck did we just walk over the hill? Why didn't we just drive over here?
You have a map. What's this road thing? It says road to cave on this map.
Apparently, the map wasn't that detailed.
I mean, it says go 22 minutes north on El Segundo, take a right on Hacienda, and then left on Cave Road.
It's the cave at the end of the road.
Cave at the end of, yeah. Okay, thanks, Court, for the trek through the hills. So they go inside.
And he's like, just 3 more miles, guys, and then we could take a break.
Yeah, 3 more miles of cave.
Like, how much cave is back there? If you're walking 3 fucking miles into a cave.
Pretty big cave.
It's to the center of the earth.
Yeah, it's just 3 miles down.
This is Fred Olen Rey's journey to the center of the earth.
Except for Fred Olen Rey. No. Fred Olen Rey didn't direct a Journey to the Center of the Earth. That was Albert Pyong. Never mind. That was.
Yeah.
We got to get our hands on that one too. Where the fuck am I? They're leaving breadcrumbs, but that never comes into play because they end up getting lost. But
not really. Like, it ends up just being mostly a straight line, and then there's a Y, but the Y just kind of dead ends. It's like Scotty's Tunnel in Death Valley. Scotty's Castles.
Okay.
What is the tunnel? There's a tunnel in Death Valley where some guy was just like, I think it's Scotty's Tunnel. He just decided to dig a hole through the whole mountain.
Okay.
And then he did it, and then he died, and then you can go there and see where he lived when he did it. And my dad took me there when I was like 10 or something, and I was like, we got to the other side and we came back. It was hot as fuck because it was Death Valley, and he's like, wasn't that something? I'm like, yeah, that was fucking depressing. I'm 10, and I'm like, look at this man's life's work. It's a fucking hole
in the ground,
in some fucking dirt in the middle of the desert. Yep, it's a big one, but fuck.
Said Sam, the 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Jesus. I mean, fucking criminy, dude. Maybe you should start thinking about parenting. Asshole. Okay. Well, they're walking around the caves, and they hear a strange sound, which to me sounds like a cow getting inseminated in the butt, because it's like...
Yeah, that's what they're like. It's a horn. I'm like, are you sure it's not a cow?
It sounds like a cow getting inseminated in the butt.
It sounds like a cow.
Like just a man reaching up in there and being like, whoops, sorry about that, Bessie. Oh. And they think, oh, it's the wind. Yeah, sure, guys. So they decide to take their break. They've made it 3 miles, I guess. And the professor, he's like, I'm going to go wander around and look at cave paintings. And then the rest are hanging out, getting shit-faced. Paris is hitting on the Chambers lady, and she's hitting on him because the movie tells us he is charming and good-looking, Jackie. Whether he is not is irrelevant.
By the standards of the rest of the party, he is the gem.
Yeah.
On the male side of things.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But you could also just not have sex with the people you're paying to make you rich. I don't know.
No. You're paying them. Whip out that wiener.
Okay.
Yeah, she's like, doesn't really have adventures, so like, this is making her Randy.
Mm-hmm. The thrill of caving.
Okay, but did anybody think it was weird when Rich Lady pulls out a blanket, puts it down, and then gets this little tiny pillow and puts it down in the center of the blanket so that she can sit her ass on a little tiny pillow.
It's comfortable, you know? Would you rather sit on the hard stone of the center of the earth or a cashmere pillow, Jackie?
Why would you even have that?
Because you've got a giant fucking bag. You got to put something in there.
Yeah, why is she bringing her purse?
It's not a purse. That's a fucking duffel bag, Jackie. Like, that's the kind that guys take to the top of the book depository building.
No, that is a fucking purse.
It's not a... There's no way. It's too big. There's a fucking blanket and a pillow in it. That is not a purse. That is a fucking camping bag.
That's a purse.
Okay.
It's a purse.
You call it a purse. I hate to... Yeah. We also all just walked right past that they're in a cave exploring, and she's getting horny. And so maybe Jeffrey Combs is going to be doing a little spelunkering later. I
was going to try to work the spelunkering, the love tunnel.
Yeah, okay, tunnel of love. Yeah, I like that one. It's good.
Spelunk my dong dunk in you. Romantic for cavers.
Duncan ding dongs. So cut to Michelle Bauer. She's getting chased around by the trolls, Trolls 2 from the beginning of the movie, and she's scantily clad. She's a bikini lady, cave woman, slave cave woman, bikini.
I don't know.
Yeah. And they're chasing her around for undetermined reasons, and she runs up to the professor. And he's like, I'm not going to hurt you. Calm down. I'm not going to hurt you. And then he fucking punches her right in the face. Nice. Now she trusts you.
Just as everybody else is walking towards him, too. And they're like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I was trying to help her.
Yeah, right.
She's hysterical.
Punching her in the face. Like, who... I hope that... you know what? I don't think it was. I don't think it was a movie cliche where it's, get a hold of yourself, woman. Psh! You smack him in the face. I think that happened a lot, and I don't know. I don't think it worked.
No, hysteria is not real.
Yeah.
Your uterus doesn't make you crazy.
I don't think...
Just shake them until it goes back into place. That's what's happening there.
But you got to hit him in the face, too, Sam. You can't just shake him.
Yeah, that'll reattach their... detachable uterus.
Who thought punching somebody in the face equals this will calm them down?
A really drunk guy who liked hitting women.
And then it caught on. I mean, I don't fucking... Dude. Disclaimer, don't think it works, anybody. Don't punch people in the face saying, I'm just trying to calm them down. No, you're not. You just want to punch that person in the face.
Yeah.
So next time we're at a bar, we should just do this as an experiment. And then when some guy is getting all crazy in the bar, to punch him in the face and be like, I learned this from TV.
Well, if you're in a bar and you throw the first punch, punches are going to start flying.
Yeah.
You're starting a bar fight.
You better be ready to have a chair crashed over your back.
Yeah. If you're not Joe Don Baker, better at least read the instructions on the bar fight. Instruction 1, don't start a bar fight unless you're Joe Don Baker.
Have either one of you guys ever been in a bar fight?
Yeah, I've been in 2. It's not good.
I have never cleared the bar, like, rumble! But yeah, I got into some pushing and shoving on several occasions.
There was one bar fight that I didn't get into that I escaped from. That was it was a 40-man pile in Suds after a BSU Hawaii game that got over at like 3:00 in the morning. And we barely got out of that fucking thing alive. It was a goddamn reptile zoo. I'd never seen a bar fight like catch fire like that, so I was like, oh shit, this one's out of control. We got to get the fuck out of here. It spilled into the streets. There was people fighting in the streets.
That's a rumble. Okay, so Michelle Bauer, she's taken back to the camp where everybody else was, and then the the trolls run up and they're like, shoot them. And they shoot one pretty good. And then they just proceed to fucking unload their clips at the sides of the cave because they hit nothing else.
Oh, come on. Adventure Guy only had 2 bullets.
Yeah.
Okay. He had a pirate gun.
No, that's just a shotgun. That's just a shotgun, babe. It's just a shot off. It's actually a prop gun. It's not a real gun, but whatever.
It's a really impressive firearm for a third-year geology student.
Yeah. Yeah, just wheeled around a sawed-off, one-handed. Tough guy, huh? So they're out of bullets because they fucking just kept unloading at the walls of this goddamn cave, you fucking idiots. And so the rest of these trolls, they take off running away. Well, they're going to come back. So Michelle Bauer runs off and they're like, where is she? I don't know. We should follow her. And then the trolls attack again and everybody's getting tussled pretty good. And then Paris discovers that they hate light, that if you shine the flashlight at them, they're mole men. They don't like it. And the trolls run off again.
I think we glossed over the part where Eddie and Danae get drunk and sing the Junior Birdman song.
Oh, that was fucking weird.
It was weird.
Yeah. I don't know.
Is that even a real song?
It can't be.
Don't know. No idea.
And she's like doing that thing where you flip your, like, give yourself glasses with your hands.
Yeah. The upside down hands glasses. Yeah, that's a classic. Okay, so Chambers is missing. And they're like, oh, shit, we got to save her. So Michelle Bauer leads them through the cave to find her. And they find her up on this rotisserie getting cooked because they're having her for dinner. Yeah.
They've got her down to her shirt and her underwear. And I'm like, why isn't she just on there naked?
Yeah, this is Fred Olen Rey.
She doesn't take him, doesn't get him out, I guess.
Seems like that would be something that Fred would have incorporated in the script. But I guess maybe he didn't have enough actresses. I don't know.
If they didn't get out then she's just somebody who doesn't get them out.
Yeah.
And I think Sybil didn't get them out because it cost double.
Sybil gets them out every now and then, though.
You have to pay them.
Yeah.
You pay for each one of them, I think.
Michelle Bauer is like...
Well, she definitely got some areola out on this movie.
Well, Michelle Bauer was doing Penthouse and other nudes. That's all it was. Her career was being nude. Yeah. So when she met Fred Olen Rey and did the movie The Tomb, he's like, no, you're great. I like you. You can do... Like, that was the end of her having to do... She still has to get him out, but she got to do legitimate acting with her boobs out.
She's very comfortable with her boobs out, so it's just, whatever. Oh, it's Tuesday? Cans are coming out?
Yeah.
It seems like also everybody there was very comfortable with her naked body, but we'll get to that. So anyways.
How could you not be?
Well, I don't know. We'll get to that. So they chase off the trolls with the flashlights again. They're chased back by the trolls. And they get to this area of the cave where the flashlights stop working because the iron deposits in the... Yeah. Okay. Science.
Well, later in the movie, he'll say, it'll never get dark out here because of that volcano. Volcanoes make a bunch of light, right?
Bright as the sun. So they run into the robot. Wait, what? Robot?
There's a robot.
What's that? What was he doing? Like, this robot's just hanging out in the cave. If they hadn't run into him, what was he up to?
He was mining. Remember, Sybil Danning will later tell us what he was doing, and that she's going to keep them as slave miners because they killed her robot miner.
Oh,
so she could repair her spaceship, but we're going too far because, yes, there's a spaceship. Yep.
Well, this whole laser battle between this robot and this group of geologists this robot sucks at shooting people with its laser eyeball.
It doesn't suck at shooting the monsters. It hits that one on the first try, and it catches on fire.
I think that was an accident. Like, oh shit, I totally just shot that guy. I was aiming for that geologist. Sorry. Oopsie.
Yeah, and this whole scene is just weird because they totally could have just walked around the robot.
They could have just left.
Because like it's not like this robot has like a bunch of mobility or anything. And the slave cave girl, she just runs right past it, like, robot, and everybody else is like, circle him,
find the beast, bring the beast down, and they're like, my arm is stuck in it.
And
then Danae, when it's about to kill Court with his laser, she does the classic, I'm way too happy to be in this shot, Fred Olen Rey shot, where she's like, and she just waves her compact at it, and it shoots itself.
Right. And dies.
She was so fucking proud of herself.
I've always wanted to do this. So they exit the cave, and they're next to that volcano Sam talked about. Okay.
Like this rando clip of a volcano, too. It's just like, what? And then we never hear about the volcano again.
This footage from Journey to the Center of the Earth?
No, I think it's just fucking stock volcano shit.
Yeah, but the other stuff later, is it?
I don't know. Why don't you save it for
we'll
later.
Table that.
Okay, so more bikini ladies, they run up. Michelle Bauer wasn't the only one, apparently. They got spears, and they're surrounding them with their spears, and Michelle Bauer comes down, and she starts barking at them like, no, it's cool, they're friends with us. And then Sybil Danning fucking pulls up in a fucking space car that appears to be a hover car?
It's a space car.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's the only one out of this tribe of people that can actually speak. The rest of them are just making grunting sounds, and they're just gross. And she's like, I've got a spaceship, but we're not smart enough to have real weapons.
Okay, well, table that, Jackie, because I think you're getting a little confused on the chain of events that happened before this movie starts, but we're gonna do a deep dive into that as well. Anyways, the bikini ladies are working for Sybil Danning, and she's like, get them in. They killed my robot, and now I don't like that, except for this one guy, Jeffrey Combs, who I am going to turn into my alien lover man.
Yeah, and then Court Eastman's like, no, don't sass me, lady. And then she kicks the shit out of him, ties him to the hood, kicks the shit out of him and ties him to the hood and starts driving back to her fortress. And he's just like, I made a terrible decision.
It's like even more dramatic than that, because she's like, and you bunch are a bunch of assholes. And he's like, no, wait a minute. And then before he's done with wait a minute, she has already completely just pummeled him half to death.
And tied him to her hood.
And, nobody talks like, oh, God. It's pretty funny. So they take them into a prison cell. And the ladies are just like allowed to be escorted around the caves by other by the other spear holding ladies. And they just fucking run away. They're like,
they didn't even run. They just wander off.
Yeah. They're like, I don't think these spear ladies care. Let's just go.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause they were bored.
Yeah.
So that's what they say. This is really fucking boring. Why don't we let's
just go.
Do something else. And the other one was like, oh, okay.
So they run away.
So they do.
And Michelle Bauer comes into the prison cell and busts these men out of their cell because it's just a tarp. They're held in by a tarp.
There was a guard. I think she took care of the guard somehow.
Really?
It's a tarp.
It's a tarp.
Yeah, so they're free-ish. And now one of the guards reports that they've been freed, and what it appears to be happening is Sybil Danning is just smothering Jeffrey Combs with her boobs.
That's what I thought too. That's and like he's on the fence about it too. She's like, I'm gonna take you to space, and you and I are gonna make babies, and he's like, you know,
he's like, did you see Michelle Bauer?
I mean, those are really big boobs, though. So
yeah.
And then it's too late. They run in later. So the alien queen, she picks up her sword and she goes after them. And then they all end up in the fucking land of the lost. They go outside the cave again, and now they're fucking in the land of the lost. There's dinosaur bones out there. There's actual dinosaurs fighting dinosaurs. T-Rex grabs this fucking little guy off the hill and is like, chomp your head. They're like, whoa, hadn't seen that before.
This is sort of a chase scene where they're just sort of leisurely walking. The professor's leisurely walking with the adventure man away from the alien queen who's leisurely walking after them.
Right.
And posing at certain opportunities, right, where there's like a good shot of the background.
Yeah.
She's kind of on the edge of a rock, like, and here I am on this rock. And then she'll walk a couple of steps and she's like, and here I am on this rock.
And then she just like she fucking picks up a random spear and chucks it at the T-Rex for no goddamn reason. And then she's like, haha, see you later, T-Rex. What the fuck?
That was really interesting because they're like, oh, let her handle that. And she does. And she's like, eat shit, T-Rex. And the T-Rex like pulls it out of its arm and like gives her like, the way that this edited together with previous footage was really strange. Because she's like, eat shit, T-Rex. And he's like, you eat shit. And then that scene's over.
It's over. Oh, my God.
And meanwhile, the girls have wandered off and they decide they're going to sit down. And they're having this whole conversation. And then the rich lady's complaining that
my feet hurt.
Yeah, and she's hungry. And so
I'm hungry.
She's bitching, and then
hat
Eddie's
gives
like
her
having
a rock.
Yeah,
and she's like, "What am I can't eat this. What do you want me to do with this?" She's like, "Go over there and kill that thing." And they cut to a fucking dinosaur that's been watching them the whole time. I loved this scene. I thought it was so fucking clever and funny.
Well, yeah, because it's not just that there's this dinosaur out there and that one of them's griping about being hungry. The entire time, Eddie's having like a lowbrow existential monologue
Yeah, right.
that is hilarious if you actually listen to what she's saying.
All right, so the ladies also, when they start getting back to it, they find these crystals that are worth millions. So I guess this is also where the troll people filled up their bathrobes with jewels. They come here,
I guess,
which is out in the sun. I don't.
This is a new age
dark.
No, it can't get dark because the volcano, Sam. Doesn't work.
Yeah,
doesn't make sense. Okay, so Michelle Bauer, she leads them to Paris. He's tied up, like he's tied to this chair, which I think is like her captain's chair of her spaceship. And he's like, wait,
yeah,
you came in on a spaceship? And she's like, look around you, bud. But also we're inside of a cave. And then when they run out later, they're like, hey, there's that lady's spaceship. And it's not. It's just a parked spaceship outside.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I don't get it.
She almost had enough crystals to get that thing flying again.
But is it in?
It's in the center of the earth.
Yeah. But it's like part, it's not. It doesn't work. It's in the cave, but then it's outside of the cave. Okay, so they get him free, and he's like, oh man, I was about to be turned into a sex man.
Very importantly, the reason they're able to get him free is that Michelle Bauer makes a distraction by wrestling with the other guard.
Oh, right.
And all they do is wrestle each other's tops off.
Yep.
Oh my God, this other guard, I hated this one too. She looked like a goddamn crackhead to start.
Yeah, she was not.
And then
pretty cracky.
She had like this twitchy motion that like she was guarding.
She probably,
I don't know,
was a
free
crack
smells at the Jimmy John's, you know, like.
She was guarding free smells at the Jimmy John's, okay? Or she could have just been what you said, a crackhead.
She does a good bird impression.
Yeah. It was just really, like, off-putting and weird, and then she didn't have nice boobs, and it was like...
Oh, but
why are you even on screen?
The one that has the most amazing boobs in all of film, and you're like, ew, she's gross because she's got fucking Tina Turner's hair from Thunderdome? Come on!
Yeah, they make them look like they're cave people. Cave people didn't have good hair.
Yeah. What the hell?
Well, it was gross, and I didn't like looking at the slave ladies.
Okay. God knows I did. Okay.
Yeah, it's usually all of these B movies that have the cave women with loses their shirts. There's just one reviewer that's like, yeah, a hard pass. They all had bad hair. You were looking at their hair?
They had hair?
Don't get me wrong. She had some nice boobs.
Okay.
She really did.
All right. So they get Paris out of there, and Cave Bunny, she comes up and starts licking his face because she loves him as well. She wants to have babies with Jeffrey Combs. Uh-huh. And they find the other two ladies and find the car, the space hover car. No. They go outside and they find the diamonds. They find the diamonds and jewels just littered all over the ground.
This is great because they're like on the way to their escape and they're like, hey, shit, diamonds. Let's grab a bunch. Let's go. Come on. Fill up your pockets.
Okay. And then they get to the hover car and Alien Queen, she follows them on foot. Like, you're walking. You're not going to catch them.
The car isn't very fast.
It's fast enough. It looks like it's doing about like 30.
15, which is faster than walking.
Yes, it is faster than walking. Okay. But they get stuck. The cave gets too thin or narrow for them, and they have to stop the car. Which is overheating. Its hydraulics are overheating, and they're like, it's got to explode because that's how hydraulics work.
Mm-hmm. Remember, we're listening to a third-year geology student on all of this stuff.
He was right. The fucking thing blows up.
It causes a cave-in.
Right. Next to Sybil Danning.
I guess.
I think. I don't know. And they're like, well, that's all over. Goodbye, Lost City of Relia. Wait, you found the Lost City of Relia? I didn't see a goddamn city. I saw a fucking spaceship that may or may not have been inside or outside.
They never made it to the Lost City of Aurelia or wherever it was.
No, but then they all high-five each other because they've all got pockets full of diamonds.
Right. No, they're set.
They're good.
But
they're good.
I don't understand the Lost City thing. And they just go home.
Poor romantic guy, he got the sad end of the stick, right? Because now he's stuck with an instant wife.
Two of them, Jackie. He's going home with both Danae and Cave Woman. And diamonds.
I don't know. I could have used a post-credit sequence where the cave woman was trying to be the secretary for the salvage company ineptly. Yeah, I think that would have been funny. That would have been funny. I think he would have wanted to do that had he had more time.
This woman is a caveman. And then Sybil Danning is like, okay, well, trolls are coming at me. I'm going to take them out, I guess. And that's the end of the movie. She takes a swing at him with her sword, which makes like not a swooshing sound, but like a laser sound. So it also, I don't know.
She probably laser decapitated him or whatever, and then she's just going to go back to
hanging out. Huh. Credits. All right. Questions. I'm going to start. So there's a land of the lost, and the only way to get there is a cave system, which helms cannibalistic mole men who prevent people from finding the lost city of Relia, and an alien queen who crashed her spaceship underground and has subjugated a race of bikini cave women in the hopes of luring a Jeffrey Combs-style man before she can return to space?
Yes.
This movie does not make any goddamn sense. None. If you go outside the cave, you can see the sky. You're outside. You're not inside. You're outside. And so, but you crash your space into the... and you've
What's over that hill? Burbank.
Yeah, right. And you just been hanging out. Where these slave bikini people come from?
I don't know. Is she like just killing the men indiscriminately? Because there's only cave women.
What men?
There's no men.
Are the cave bikini people, like, did she bring them? Or
no,
were they?
They're just cavemen from the land of the lost, and she's killed all the men.
So are they citizens of the city of Relia? Like descendants?
No, they're just cave people. I guess if you go like 6 miles further past this alien queen who's batshit crazy, you'll actually get to the lost city. They just ran out of booze. went back and blew everything up.
Man, it sure seems like there's a lot of people living underground. Like you've got...
Also, they're like, that's sealed now forever. And nobody goes, I could get in there with a backhoe.
Yeah, backhoe. It was just an exploding car. I mean... This is a weird plot. That there's a lost city with treasure and an alien queen whose spaceship flew through our atmosphere over LA and punched through the hillside so hard that she buried herself at the center of the earth, which is actually just a system of caves that you can go outside from any point in time.
Yeah, it's what you get when you have that stuff around. Like, I've got the robot, we've got this car, there's a prop. Sybil Danning has her costume from
Battle Beyond the Stars.
Whatever, Battle Beyond the Stars.
Michelle said she'd get him out.
What are you going to do? I'm going to write it in one day and we're going to shoot it in 6 days because that's what happened.
It's nutty. It's nutty. Okay, anybody else? Questions? Good. Okay.
It has to get dark, right?
From the volcano?
I don't know.
I've seen footage of volcanoes at night, and yes, you cannot see people, but then you've got the exposure thing, you know. So
volcanoes make it dark.
Volcanoes make it dark. Yeah.
Yeah. So, because I don't like those movies, the Journey to the Center of the Earth movies are just not for me.
Right.
It got dark, didn't it? I didn't pay attention. Did it ever get dark in those movies?
Well, I don't know. I mean, because the center of the earth doesn't make any fucking goddamn sense, Sam. I'm sorry, H.G. Wells. I really liked fucking The Time Machine.
Did you?
Yeah, I think The Time Machine's kind of interesting. It's at least creative. The Journey to the Center of the Earth, I think, is fucking stupid as shit.
Yeah.
Because no, it's the fucking center of the earth. It's a molten core. There's no light. Where's the light come from? Oh, and they're the plants. Do you not know anything about photosynthesis? You fuck.
When they were written, nobody knew shit about fuck.
No, but it's still...
People still don't know shit about fuck.
You look up in the sky, the sun's up there. When you don't have the sun, it's dark outside. Well, is there a sun in the center of the earth? Actually, kind of, yeah. But you can't see it because you would be on fire from it, you dumb fuck.
And smashed.
Yeah, no, it's not dark in Journey to the Center of the... I mean, of course it's dark at the Journey to the Center of the Earth. There's no fucking light halfway. I mean, you're underground. You ever been in a cave?
Okay, so best character in this movie.
Michelle Bauer. Easy.
No, cowboy hat lady.
Mm-mm.
She's fun. She is. But
yeah, Eddie was fun.
She's fun in all of his movies, and they were only married for like 5 or 6 years, but
I liked pretty much everybody except for Court. I thought I just I wasn't a big fan of him.
I liked him because he was so shitty, and it was like spot on.
Yeah,
you are the shittiest Indiana Jones, and you're owning it.
Yeah.
So that even worked for me.
Okay, all right, I can see that. But yeah, I thought the cast was fun. I thought it was a fun ensemble. Good mix of
I thought so too.
Good mix of folks.
Yeah, the professor was even fun when the Paris is like, "What is this? It's a rock."
I still think his best line in the movie, though, is when the troll people attack. And he's like, "What in the hell is wrong with you? I'm trying to communicate with you," as he's punching it in the face.
I'm trying to be your friend.
Then he calls him a tub of shit, which was hilarious. He's like, "Stop it, you tub of shit."
That was probably my favorite thing about this whole movie, and I totally fucked it up at the beginning of the show because I was like, well, I should have written it down, but I never write anything down. That's kind of my jam.
Okay.
Because I am the laziest fucker on this podcast. Yeah. I just show up for the movie. I don't write anything down. I don't research anything. I am just here strictly for asshole commentary. Like, I'm the average Joe asshole commentary person.
Sure. All right. Any other questions? Jax, you got anything, or are we ready to move on?
I think we're ready to move on.
Final recommendations. I'm going to start. It's a do. With a couple disclaimers. It's not Fred's greatest work. It's just not. There's some draggy, the chasey scenes where nothing's happening. They're just getting chased. Didn't stimulate me very much. There's some exposition that didn't do much for me as far as the dialogue. I think it's one of his worst scripts. But there is definitely a lot of fun here. Now, my second disclaimer is it's not for everybody. This is not an accessible bad movie. This is not where you start. This is the intermediate class of bad movies. But yeah, it's a do for me.
To take it further, I would say that this is really like, if you like Fred Olen Rey, you'll like this.
Yeah.
If you don't, you won't.
Sure. Jackie?
Oh, I'm giving this a total do. I laughed so many times. There's just this humor and this wit about the way that it is either written or the actors are interacting with each other that is just really super funny and captivating. And yeah, there's some dead spots in it, but it wasn't goopy. Like the weird troll people weren't goopy, so I liked that.
Didn't have the money to make them goopy.
Yeah, and the guy who loses his head, I thought that looked pretty good. And you know, I loved the cheap shit dinosaurs at the end of it, you know.
That were stolen from another movie. Was it Land of the Lost, or
it might have just been Land of the Lost? They weren't,
or it could have been.
They weren't Harryhausen.
Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yeah, Harryhausen's son. His stop motion never looked that shitty.
Yeah, those were shitty stop motion dinosaurs.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm giving it a do all the way around. I had a really good time with this one.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Next week is Jackie's.
What about
I guess
Sam?
I gave it a do as well.
Yeah, fuck. Sorry about that.
Screw you, Sam.
I'd
Screw
even
you
go
and your
farther
damn
to
opinion.
say that it's worth spending the $2 or $3 wherever you can find it to not watch it with commercials, because it's worth that much money to watch. It's good.
Yeah, I definitely would have enjoyed it more if it hadn't been for the commercials. But okay. Next week on the show,
Yeah, I agree.
It's Jackie's pick.
Speaking of being the laziest asshole on this podcast, I don't have my pick yet. I'm sorry.
Well, if I'll do you a favor, not really, because I'm going to steal it. You can't use it, but in 2 weeks, I'm going to try to follow up Sam's Fred Olen Rey dinosaur movie with my Fred Olen Rey dinosaur movie, if it's available, Dinosaur Island. So there you go.
And in 3 weeks, we will be doing The Tomb with Sybil Danning and most of these people again.
A lot of Fred Olen Rey on the way.
So I'm going to pick something totally fucking random then, and I'll try not to have it have mermaids or... No, I'm going to find something fucking awesome that I like, and you guys are just going to have to fucking watch it.
All right.
Okay, everybody have a great Memorial Day today, or yesterday. I don't know when I'm going to release this, but anyways, have a great week, and get to the chop.